Today we will be demonstrating repulsion, a concept that is related to the principles of static electricity. This relates to the grade 6 science and technology strand, Understanding Matter and Energy, which examines electricity and electrical devices. This demonstration connects directly to the specific expectation 3.2 of the grade 6 curriculum, as we will be using the principles of static electricity to explain common electrostatic phenomena. Whoa, hey there everyone! I'm shocked to see you here. Welcome to our video about static electricity. Today we are going to look at the concept of repulsion. Now, you might be wondering, what is repulsion? Well, we already know that electrical energy comes from small particles called atoms. Atoms make up all matter. All atoms are made up of three smaller kinds of particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons. These are called subatomic particles, and we know that the flow of electrons creates electricity. Protons have a positive charge, neutrons have no charge, and electrons have a negative charge. Depending on the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons, atoms have an electrical charge.
A few moments later.
Atoms with more electrons than protons will have a negative charge. Atoms with more protons than electrons have a positive charge, and atoms with the same number of protons and electrons have a neutral charge. Now, you may have heard the expression opposites attract. That is definitely true when we are talking about electrical charges. When objects have different charges, or one object has a positive charge and the other has a negative charge, they will be attracted to each other because those charges are different. This means that when two objects have opposite charges, they will come together and be attracted. When objects have the same charge, or both objects are positively charged or negatively charged, they will move away from each other and repel. So when those two objects with the same charges move away from each other, we call that repulsion. Knowing this information, we are going to try and make objects float. You may be wondering, how on earth will we do this? Well, let's find out.
Whoa! Thanks for getting us started. So yes, today we're gonna make some objects float right in the air, which is kind of cool. But before we can do it, we're gonna have to collect a few materials.
To do this experiment, you're going to need a few household items. 1, a plastic bag. 2, a balloon. 3, a cloth towel. 4, a pair of scissors. And remember, before doing any science experiment at home, we always want to make sure we have parent supervision.
Step number 1, we're gonna blow up our balloon. Step number 2, you're going to cut out a piece of plastic, kind of like a ring shape. The next step is to charge our materials. The next part is the most fun. You're gonna take your piece of plastic and you're gonna throw it up into the air and it'll repel the balloon. Then you have a floating circle. Pretty cool, hey? But how did it work? Well, when you rub the cotton towel against the balloon and the band, you are creating static electric charges. Specifically, you are creating negative charges, which means you are increasing the number of electrons on both the balloon and the band. Because both the balloon and the band have the same electric charge, they repel from each other. This is repulsion.
Wow, that was so cool. Who knew that we could make an object float using electrical charges? By creating a simple visual model that students can create and explore, students have the opportunity to explore and learn that repulsion is the result of placing objects with the same electrical charge together, which forces these objects apart. In the lessons prior to having students complete the experiment, the concept of static electricity should be introduced and explored. To develop a full lesson, before having students complete this experiment, the teacher could facilitate a think aloud or brainstorming session about what the class already knows about static electricity for the minds-on portion of the lesson, placing emphasis on electrical charges, attraction, and repulsion. This experiment could be framed as an inquiry, asking students, knowing what you know about electrical charges, how could you use these materials to make the plastic float? Following the experiment, the teacher could bring the class back together to share what they noticed or observed while completing the experiment, to highlight key learning and consolidate knowledge, which can help inform instruction moving forward in the unit. We hope that you enjoyed learning about repulsion with us. Thanks for watching!